G'day, Steve Morgan here from Fishing Monthly magazines down at Lakes Entrance in East Gippsland. And we've got some really interesting boats to test today, they being Bassco. I've got Michael here from Bassco Boats. Michael, you've been building boats basically forever, but you've just delved into the fishing market, and I tell you what, you've really sort of hit the mark with your first attempts. What made you get interested in fishing boats?
Oh, look, basically knowing Pete from, Hurricane Lures for years, and he always said, look, you should have a go at doing a fishing boat. So, yeah, I had to say to Pete, well, what do you guys want in a fishing boat? And we worked together, and it's going quite well.
Tell us some of your credentials in boat building, though. These aren't the first boats you've built.
No, I've always built diesel-powered boats, probably much bigger boats than this, but bigger boats involves more staff, bigger tooling, bigger headaches. So I thought this will be, a bit of an interesting change, and it's sort of like, reinvigorates you, get you interested in the industry again. So no, I'm enjoying it.
I've dealt with a lot of Australian boat builders over the years that wanted to build a tournament boat like this one, and the challenge they've had is to fit all the tournament anglers' gear in the boat, and it looks like you've actually hit the mark with this one here. You've obviously taken that feedback from anglers, and you're proud to incorporate the guys that use the product.
Yeah, well, it's an unusual idea to actually ask people that use something what they want, but I figured, they know what they want, especially Pete's got a lot of experience, so we're able to sort of get all the things in that people need, and without, I might have the technical skills, but you guys are fishermen, you know what you want, so why not ask the market rather than trying to tell the market what they need? And it's worked quite well, so yeah.
Before we talk to Pete about that fishing side of this boat, tell us about the build of this craft here. There's no wood in it, it's all composite and fibreglass?
Yeah, it's quite unusual in the sense that it's full fibreglass construction, thermalite transom, which no timber. The stringer system is fully moulded, and then it's adhered into the boat and glassed in as well, then pumped full of flotation foam. It gives you a really rigid ride. The gunnel line, the coaming, the liner and the floor are all in one piece, which it basically acts like a large stringer, so it becomes a really stiff boat. Yep. So and you can tell that when you go in one, they ride really well. So yeah. So
Pete, it must be you must be proud of this product, because not only does it suit your style of fishing, it nearly suits your branding with the black and green. It's a good-looking craft, isn't it, with that metal flake in the side?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely awesome vessel. I love fishing out of it. Can't get me out of it. You'll see me in it 90% of the time.
Now this is compared to, you have a big American bass boat,
yes,
but you choose to fish this boat because it's easy to put in. It's very fishable.
Yeah, it's easy to tow, easy to put in. It's got all my tackle, everything at my fingertips. It handles rough water really well. Does 50 mile an hour. So just a no-brainer. I just love it.
I think for me, one of the most impressive things is that tackle and rod storage, which is in the middle. How many rods and how many lures can you fit in that section?
You can get 12 rods in there, up to 7'4", and I think it's about 20 plus tackle boxes in that one rod locker. So it holds everything I need.
Now, you might think that this is a lot of tackle to put in a boat, but these tournament guys, they have a lot of tackle that they like taking out with them. And I think the other thing to me, which will be impressive about this boat, is a very shallow draft. You'll get into some real narrow country that the fish like to be in.
Exactly. I've got a hydraulic jacking plate on the back of it, so I can just idle in probably less than a foot of water. Yep. Easy, or 300 mil, no worries, just idle around. And you'll see the bass boat struggling because they've got it jacked up and the bums down, but this one just cruise around. It's makes fishing flat water or shallow water very easy.
Well, this boat on the trailer looks fantastic, but there's one way to find out exactly what it does, and let's get it on the water and get you some performance statistics.
Cheers.
Well, there you go. This is the first Australian designed and built tournament boat that I've been in that can actually hold an angler's gear. And it's been a long time coming. I've been involved in tournament fishing and boat testing for near 20 years. So well done to Michael and Peter for getting a boat which is fit for purpose. Michael's boat building experience is going to mean that this boat is well built. It sounds good on the water, it sounds solid, it feels rigid. And the fact that he's local and you're dealing with a local guy rather than someone on the other side of the world that's building your tournament boat is a real advantage when it comes to after-sales service. It's also an advantage when it comes to ordering your boat. If you're dealing with a smaller company, they're quite happy to do bespoke items for the boat or build it exactly as you want it because you know what your needs are. On the water, performance is great. It doesn't draw much water. You can get into those little shallow areas. But when this 2.1 litre Mercury kicks in, it pops under the plane quickly. It's quite trim sensitive, which means that when you get that trimmed right, you can feel that hull pop out of the water. The speed goes up, the economy goes up, and it's a great rig. It just feels like it's a really well-matched package, that 115 ProXS Mercury and this Hurricane. Fuel economy, the best economy was at 46 kilometres an hour when it was going 4,000 RPM, 2.4 kilometres for each litre of fuel burned, which is great. With a 140 litre fuel tank on board, that gives over 350 kilometres of theoretical range. So if you wanted to do a long weekend away, that's no dramas at all. You won't have to bother about taking extra fuel. Glass generally is quiet. If you're looking at a 4.5 to 5 metre boat in tin versus glass, I can tell you the glass boats are very, very fish friendly. They're quiet on the water and they don't spook your quarry, so that's also another advantage. And this boat here, if you've got a day like we had today on Gippsland lakes, you can take this offshore, catch a snapper, try and catch a marlin in it, do whatever you like. This boat though is designed for the estuaries and it does that job really well. But that flexibility, it's wanted by a lot of anglers that do a lot of different sorts of fishing. Pricing from $51,900 for a basic package, boat, motor, trailer. Then you add your own electronics, trolling motors, anything you need to make it perfect for you. And if you do your sums, with the Australian dollar pretty low at the moment, buying local is definitely the way to go when it comes to value for money. Website-wise, these guys spend all of their time building boats. You can catch them actually on Facebook. Go to Bassco Boats, like the page, you can see all of their new models and their updates. Now, this is one of the up-spec models in Bassco's range. They have a model called a Storm, which is more of an entry-level boat. They're available from $41,900. So if you've got 40 or 50 grand and you want to look at a great locally designed tournament boats, a Bassco boat is the way to go.